So thank you very much for jumping on, Em. So these are a small group of our 16-week challenges. So we're running a New Year, New You challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have a few guys that you can see. I don't know whether you can see them, but we have a small group of people who are on their phone or on their computer. And then we actually have a group of people up in Mildura in the Sunraysia, who are all gathered together to hear your beautiful story. Now, if you weren't, if you didn't read Em's bio, look, for somebody so young, and I call you young at 26, you're
I'm
young.
mature.
Yeah, you're a mature 26. Your insight around, I'm going to call it weight loss psychology, is profound, but at the same time as it being profound, it is just simple. And I have only, I think, known you now for a week, and you have already really deeply impacted my mind by just some of the really small tools that you've been able to teach me in just a couple of calls that we've had, and even just in some chat interaction. And your results, I think, stand alone. I'm not going to take up too much of your story, but of course, your 60 kilo loss and release and maintenance, of course, is just a massive, massive achievement. And we are so honoured to have you on. And really blessed for you to be taking your time with us tonight to really go into, the fact that mindset matters most. And I know that that's what you're passionate about. So it's over to you, and you can take it away.
Thank you. Well, I'm really excited to have this chat, I guess, because, like predominantly when it comes to a health and fitness journey, regardless of what we're trying to achieve, I was so stuck in a mindset that I believed was okay. Like at the time when I was, trying to do all these excessive diets and these excessive extremes, I thought that this was the way it was meant to be at the time. And, I got to the point where I was like, I'll just tell a little bit of my story because obviously it was in the bio, but it's a little bit different coming from my mouth, I'm sure. Going on my journey, I found that, I would try an extreme diet, and then when that would end, I would end up doing the excessive to the other point where I would relax, and my mindset would be so over the shop that I would be like, when I was on the diet, it was because that's what at the time what I believed I should be doing. Like, this is what I got to do. I got to achieve the results. I've got to work hard, be determined. Like, deprivation is part of the process. If you're tired, like, go harder. Like, I was like made to believe that's how I'm supposed to feel. And then when I got sick of that feeling, it would be, actually, I decide I want to live. Like, I want to live. Like, I'm sick of feeling that way. I deserve to be social. Like, I deserve to see my friends. I don't want to live like that. I'm going to eat chocolate cake. So then I would go to the other extreme, and it wasn't necessarily chocolate cake, but for all of us, it's like the balance of what we would eat, right? So then when we would relax, it would then become the next extreme of relaxing. And I guess I did that over and over. I tried things that at the time I thought it was that diet that failed, or it was that process that I was in at that time that failed. And what I didn't realize is that, we're so led to believe that we've got to find the right fix for us to be able to achieve our result. Whereas it's actually the mindset that we obtain behind what we're putting into ourselves that is going to obtain the result. And I started learning things for myself and started putting, started doing some mindset exercises myself, started working on my self-love, because I figured, okay, I'm constantly chasing a physical, a physical achievement to result in a mental state. But how about if I did it the opposite? And I started working on my mindset as well as doing the same action that I'll be doing anyway, and figured that maybe I would keep the result. So I did that, and then I aligned with a college that put me onto a course, which was psychology and weight management. So I studied that. So that's like how I aligned with what I do now. And, I guess one of the biggest things that, me and Lisa spoke about, and something that really helped me when I started learning the psychological side is, the mindset we have behind what we do is so important. And if we strive every day and we focus every day on what we're putting into our body for the result of the weight loss, or for the result of the physical appearance that we're going to achieve through doing that, we're never actually going to achieve the mental result we're trying to achieve. It happens when we start focusing on the mindset and appreciating the journey. So, you know, and like one thing, like I guess I started to realize, and the more people I speak to about this, the more I realize we're all in a state of it, is the why behind what we're trying to achieve. And it ends up being the biggest struggle, because within the industry, we're so stuck on and fixated on the why is behind, you know, the result we're chasing at the end. The why is behind becoming the best we can be. You know, the why is behind being skinny. The why is behind being ripped. But what about if the why was to become the healthiest version of who we are? What if the why was to, you know, instead of having this shake or this healthy meal or the efforts we're putting in, what if the why was actually because we deserve to feel the way we're going to feel if we become the healthiest version of ourselves? And I realized that I got to a mindset, and so many of us do, to different extremes, that we would put everything into our body, and everything we were doing was to achieve a physical result. And what I realized through study is that it's actually the opposite. If we can fill our cups up with our mental state and how we're achieving our result and how we feel, we're still going to be putting the same fuel into our body. What we're doing is going to be successful because we deserve to feel that way, but not because we want to chase a physical result at the end of it. It will happen regardless. So I guess it all starts with your why, and it not being bigger than who you are. It needs to be for you, and for the journey you're on, for the result you're wishing to achieve. And it's not because you want to become any different to what you are. It's because you want to become the best that you can be. And that is who you are now. But those physical results will change as you're on your journey. So yeah, I hope that like in some way aligns with some of you, because I guess for me, I was on such a journey and I was so deprived constantly and so stuck in a mindset of chasing this physical result long term that I didn't stop and, as they would say, smell the roses as to what I am right now. And, you know, I figured that if I kept chasing with the food I put in my body or the exercise I was doing, like I got to 50 kilos. I had abs, like literally a six pack. And guess what? I felt the same as I did when I was 120 kilos. Because what I realized was that then I was still chasing the next extreme. Where was the celebration? So if I could be in that mindset, I would back then, you know, especially when I was big, I would look at small people and be like, they put some clothes on. Like, you know, I was so jealous and be like, they're so confident. What I realized is that every human in this world is just chasing the mental acceptance of themselves and to feel worthy. But if we don't start with where the mindset is, we're never actually going to achieve that result. It starts and ends with mindset. And if you can do it with with the result you're trying to achieve through nourishing your body the way you know how, you will win. So it's living to how you can live. And another thing, am I on like point with what we spoke about, Lisa? I get so lost. Am I actually speaking about what I said I would? Okay. All right. Let me just read my notes again because I'm a little bit lost. Okay. So when we're chasing to like a result at the end, that's amazing, right? Like we all want to chase a result where we're chasing to achieve with our physical, outlook on ourselves within life. And we want to achieve the best that we can be. But your priority needs to change, as I mentioned before, and this may not help everyone, but it helped me and it helps a lot of people I speak to, is you will have the same outcome if you change your priority yet from being, becoming the best physically you can be to becoming the best internally you can be. So instead, like I would have salads, right? Or I'd have a shake. And when I was having my shake, I'd be like, okay, this is when I speak out loud, this is obviously what I was thinking internally. I wouldn't say it out loud to myself. I would, be doing this and I would think, okay, if I have this, I'm going to become skinny. If I drink 4 liters of water today, I'm just going to lose a bit of water that I'm holding. Like if I go for a walk, I'm going to lose weight. And what I realized is I was so deep in a mindset and so stuck that I forgot to realize that I was actually doing it to become the healthiest version of what I am. Like, we are all chasing, like, what about if we have our salad because we want our skin to glow? Or what about if we take our supplements because we deserve to feel the way they're going to make us feel? Like, what about if we drank enough water for our bodies that, you know, our digestive system needs it, and because our skin will glow because of it? You know, we're so accustomed to follow through with all these actions we're doing within ourselves for a feeling, for a physical result. Whereas if we just change the why behind what we're doing, it will change everything. And it does. For me now, you know, I didn't even, like, when I was in the mindset I was in where I was so strict on myself, if somebody told me that balance is what I needed, I automatically would think, weight gain. Like, if someone said to me, you need to gain balance, you know, and do flexible dieting, or, you know, get to a point where you can live as well, I was like, no, don't want to bother it. Like, I want to be skinnier. I want to lose weight. And what I realized is, since I've started my study and since I've, you know, understood the mindset behind it, I've lost 8 kilos, and dude, I'm living. Like, I have no idea how. I look in the mirror, I'm like, where's the deprivation, or where's the binging gone? You know, we need to lose the unhealthy relationship we have with ourselves and with food and with our outcome, and start to actually give ourselves permission to live in the moment and move forward living. No more deprivation, and no more stopping doing what you're doing, you know, to, I guess, literally live. You know, we all, and I know that in some way, we all deprive ourselves of something we're trying to achieve with social life. Like, we won't want to go and hang out with friends or family, and we stop ourselves because there's going to be food there and I'm trying to achieve a result, and I don't want to, you know, even go out to dinner. And what happens is, then the next day, because what we've done is we've told ourselves we can't have something. So obviously when we say we can't have something, we want it 10 times more, especially when it comes to, like, the opposite sex, or, you know, something that we know that can be obtained to. It's the same with food. So if you choose not to do something because you feel as though you can't, guess what? You multiply that feeling tenfold. So telling yourself that you can do something, that you're just going to go there and to your best ability stay healthy, that's living. Don't stop yourself from doing something purely because you feel as though you shouldn't because of your result. You can still get your result and have a little bit of carb in that dinner and a little bit of sauce. And then tomorrow you're going to tell yourself you can do it again. But guess what? You probably won't, because you're telling yourself you can do it. So your result comes from releasing the fact of you can't do something. You can do anything you want. And the choices we're making now are the choices we've chosen to make. So that means that it's good for us and we want to do it. The more we tell ourselves that we can't do something, the more we're inclined to do it. And tenfold. I used to tell myself that I couldn't have bread. I was so scared of carbs, and 90% of population, especially women, and this probably is both, it's just because I, you know, relate a lot to women with their mindset, is that, you know, we're all scared of carbs when we're overweight. We're all scared, especially even when we lose weight. That's something that never goes away. And it's also something that we crave the most out of anything. And what I found was, it wasn't the fact that I loved carbs. It was the fact that I was telling myself I constantly couldn't have them. And I would, like, tell myself for 6 days, then I would eat a whole loaf on a Saturday. And then I'd tell myself it was a cheat day. So that's cool, right? Like, tomorrow will be fine because it's a cheat day. That's okay. And then guess what? My cheat days ended up happening every 3 days because I couldn't control myself. Then I would still call it a cheat day. I still got results. But what I didn't realize is that the mindset I was in was so dangerous. It is not, like, now that I'm out of the mindset, that's why I'm so passionate about it, is because I didn't even know the life that I live now was possible and how deep I was in. Society is so strong on health and fitness, yet mindset is so lost. Mindset, you know, you see the diagrams and it's like 80% nutrition, 20% exercise. That's amazing in some way, but where's the mindset? We all know how to eat healthy food and we all know how to exercise. Mindset controls every component. It's not nutrition and exercise. They're cool and they are so amazing. If you can eat the right nutrition and you've got your, you know, the plan that aligns with you the most, which I love Isagenix. I love so many components of what I do, but it's the mindset that controls how we can do things and how we find balance within the both. We all know that, like, you know, I speak to some people and it's like, you know, they'll miss a day of gym, which I used to do all the time. And that meant like it was like I've fully fallen off the bandwagon. You know, I had a goal, I didn't go. So majority of the time I would then not go till the next Monday. But what I found is like, you know, I was forcing myself to live a way that I couldn't live at the time. You know, I wanted to be active, but did I need to gruel myself in a gym 7 days a week to be healthy? No. Like now I'll go to the gym freaking whenever I want to go to the gym. But if I don't, I'll go out for a walk for 20 minutes or I'll go for an hour. And if I come back and I feel like going to the gym, I will. But not setting yourself to a standard that you have to achieve something in that moment if it's not how you can live in that day. We all have things that go on. We all have processes that happen. We all have, you know, things that come up for us. And do not hold guilt if you can't live in that moment to how you can achieve your result. You can. And it's a long journey. It's a life. It's not a month. It's not 30 days. 30 days is a cool result to be able to achieve, you know, a physical, I guess, a physical result in that time. But that's not everything. Your life is everything. And it's stopping now, acknowledging how you feel, choosing to move forward, knowing you're good enough to feel the feelings you're searching for, not for the physical result. Not getting lost within ourselves to, I guess, chase that skinny body or chase that ripped body or chase the bulk body. Just stopping and acknowledging that you're good enough now. You're doing it for yourself because you're healthy enough. Not losing your why. Your why is not bigger than who you are. Your why is you. If someone asks you your why, you need to say that it's because of me, because I'm good enough, not because of, you know, my kids or because of the people I work with or because of my friends or my partner. I'm going to show them that their why is because of them as well. We're all going to do our whys because of who we are, because we're good enough. No more bigger whys than who we are, because we are the ones that run our lives. We are the ones that help others live theirs. So how about we fill our own cup up and then help others fill theirs? So, can I open it up to questions? Did I nail it, or should I say anything else?
No, that's all. That was really great. So if there is anybody that wants to come in and ask a question, feel free to unmute yourself and come through. And really, I guess also what we touched on, because I think sometimes when we talk about the why, which I will say is I think it's very isogenic kind of terminology. So there may be people out there that don't understand, what this is. But, and we really touched on the fact of really getting to the depth of the emotional need or the emotional response that you get from your journey. Like, what is it that you want while you're in and at the peak of your, at the peak in your peak state that you actually are wanting. I think that it's beneficial for people to be able to understand the emotions that they're wanting, because when, like you taught me, when you tie your daily actions now to the emotional response or the emotional result that you want now, then you just be that now. Does that make, that's really what you taught me the other day, and it was just like, oh, I get it.
Yeah. In that, what me and Lisa touched on, I'll quickly touch on it, is that, I think that, and this relates to so many things, not just health and wellness, this is every part of life. If we've, done a certain action in life, or we've made a certain mistake in life, or we've gone through a certain, I guess, journey that we don't really align with anymore, but we want to become different. You are different. We wait for this certain feeling or this certain result that we're going to achieve before we can actually feel the feeling of what we want. But truth is, you are exactly who you create in that moment. So don't wait for anything different to come up before you can be it. Regardless of what you've been in the future, and regardless of what you've shown people that you are, regardless of what image you've had, you create who you are in the moment right now. We all have, I believe, every trait in our personality, every single trait. We all have anger, we all have negativity, we all have positivity, we all have everything. But if we can hang around the people and show up to be the person that we want, being confident, being good enough, you are it now. We don't need to wait for the physical result or, you know, the light bulb moment, because it doesn't come. You are your light bulb moment, and this is your light bulb moment. So move forward knowing that you are exactly as you wish to be.
Yeah.
You didn't unmute. You didn't unmute. You didn't unmute.
Oh, I did not. Sorry, I like muted unmute. I was going to say, does anybody want to come on that, you know, feels that they maybe even want to workshop this with you? You know, if anybody wants to come on so that maybe we can see this practice of how you can actually help somebody come in and actually name it. Like I really like to, you know, for when you know it and when you can name it, every ounce of your action and every ounce of who you are now becomes it. And it's really really powerful. It really is. So if anybody would like to come on and really be brave and supported in this space and help Emma workshop it with you, so that the group can see, you know, like the little process, it would be beautiful, because that will allow other people to be able to do that, perhaps even in their own mind or with somebody else. So yeah.
Come on, guys, unmute. I'm waiting. Someone hit it. Kylie, Billy, Bianca, Naomi. Steph. Oh, where are you?
Hi, Emma.
Oh, cool. Hello. Come closer.
I don't want to get too close to the computer. Yeah, so I'll tell you a bit about my why. So when I was younger, I'm only 27 now, but when I was little, I was 85 kilos at 12 years old.
Are you able to come closer just so I can see your face a little bit more?
Can you see me now?
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So I was 85 kilos when I was like 12 years old. So obviously I got bullied a fair bit. So that created a lot of unhealthy yo-yo dieting, and I was very strict, and like you, when I would come off it, I'd be like completely opposite. And I would like deny all the food that I was eating and tell myself it didn't count and do all that same stuff that you did. And then like that continued all the way, sorry, I stopped speaking to you. Yeah, that continued all the way through till probably I turned about 25, and then I started to actually go, why am I not just doing things that are going to make me healthy rather than go to the extreme and then fall off the bandwagon again? Like I need to be creating some lifelong healthy habits. So yeah, that was my why, pretty much.
Yeah. And that's honestly, that's the difference. Like the same outcome, like we can still, when I was in that mindset, I believed that if I relaxed, it meant that I was not going to gain the result I was meant to gain. And, you know, the biggest why is us. You know, so many people are accustomed to feel as though the why needs to be outside of who we are, and for a physical result that we don't even know why we're chasing. You know, for me, it was like, and for probably you, it's like you put this grueling work in to chase perfection, yet we can admit we don't want to be perfect. You know,
yeah, it's perfect. I just wanted to be the same size as my friends. That's like, I didn't care about mindset. I was just like, I just want to wear the clothes that they can wear. Like,
and what, so that moment, what at that time did you feel as though you were trying to achieve?
I just wanted to be the same weight, so I would stop getting picked on. Like I didn't care about like mindset or being healthy. Like they ate junk all the time, so I was like, oh, I'll just get to that weight and then I'll be able to eat whatever I want again. And yeah.
And what feeling did you think that would bring in that moment, like when you were chasing it?
Confidence. It didn't. I was just probably more depressed because I was like, oh, I have to eat all this shit, and I felt like my parents were really pushing me to exercise, and I was like, just pushing back, and I'm like, no, you're just picking on me. You're just being mean. Like, pick on the boys. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you can relate, but I feel as though when we're in that process, we're waiting for this light bulb moment for everything to be okay. You know, we're putting all this grueling work in for then that feeling of fitting in, or that feeling that we're good enough to be around our friends. Yet that's actually a mindset feeling that we're chasing. We're chasing it through a physical result that never actually comes, because you'll get to our friend size, but then guess what? We want to then become better. Like we want to then become, you know, the next extreme. And I think it's so amazing that you figured it out, that, you know, we actually just want to be good enough. And why aren't we? Like we are now. Everyone is. There's no excuse for anyone not to be good enough, because they are breathing. They're human. We live. you know, regardless of what you've gone through, we've all gone through a journey in some way, shape or form. And I believe that everyone in the moment they're in is good enough to be able to move forward in a better way.
Yeah.
And that is because we are good enough. And that is our first and foremost important process that we can go through on this journey. And, you know, to become, I believe, like obtain success in anything we wish to achieve, we have to come down to understanding that our why is us and being able to move forward with the self-worth we deserve. And that is, to me, and that's like something I believe so strongly in, is we are our why. We are our process, and we are always good enough in any moment. Even if we've gained 40 kilos that we've lost 60 prior, like our journey is our journey and we always come back stronger, but we have to know our importance whilst we're going through what we're going through. Yeah?
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
No worries.
Does anyone else want to say? No? No? No?
Like, has anyone got any questions that like maybe they're doubting or they're having trouble with, or, you know, anything that they realized or anything at all that we can discuss, especially things that people are struggling with, because, you know, vulnerability gives permission for vulnerability. And I can tell you that regardless of, you know, journeys, even though I'm young, I have been through a lot when it comes to mindset in my life, and especially when it comes to weight management and, you know, self-worth and self-confidence. So I would love to be able to hear anything that people are struggling with, to be able to, you know, push you through it.
They're all shy. They're all shy. But can I give you? I'll just jump in and I'll give you my kind of take on what we talked about. In that, in every and because, you know, we know that the majority of people that come into Isagenix are coming looking for a health change, so a physical health change. So we have Jeff on board, who is actually trying to gain weight. But the majority of the people who will be here will actually be looking for, you know, weight loss. And so generally the outer surface of the start of the action is actually, you know, Lisa, I want to do Isagenix because I want to lose weight. Fantastic. That's great. And then I would say, you know, so what is lose weight to you? Of course, give me your numbers, give me your goals. You know, I want to lose 15 kilos. Great. How will you feel when you lose 15 kilos? I'll feel thinner. Well, thin is not a feeling. Neither is healthy. Neither is skinny. Okay, sorry, they are not an emotion. So thin, thick, overweight, fat, they are not actually emotions. And so really what we kind of delve into here is that's kind of like that's the outer layer of the onion. But deep within inside you and deep inside your core, you're taking these actions to own a feeling. And so Emma touched on this with me, and I said everything that I do in my life, so whether it's action in my physical body with training, whether it was physical, whether it was when I was racing, whether it's what the food that I put into my body to fuel my health, and then also, of course, in terms of my business, every single action that I do in my life is to make me proud. I used to think it was to make other people proud, but it's actually to make myself proud. You know, I have this deep desire to, you know, to be proud. And she's like, well, why don't you just be proud now? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. And she's like, well, how about you just be proud? I'm like, okay, I can do that. I'm like, of course I can. So it was just, I hope in that kind of brief explanation that has hopefully set some light bulbs off for people. Because when you come in and you say to this is about, you know, gaining weight or losing weight or being thin or being, you know, energized even, you know, and sleeping better. Okay, yeah, but what is it? Like, that's the outer layer, but give it to me in the guts. What is inside you that you are driving to achieve? Because when you name it, And I've got a really cool wheel that I can put up on our page as an emotion wheel, because some people are very stuck emotionally, so they actually can't name emotions. So if we give you a visual tool to actually look at, and you can actually name your emotion, and if that sits with you and that's your one and you own that to your core, then you just be that now. You just be that, don't you? Like, Em, you told me that, you taught me that. And that very night that we had a chat, I taught that to a lady. And at the core of what she wanted was confident. I said, well, why can't you just be confident now? And she's like, well, I can. I'm like, I know you can. Of course you can. And then you help people discover what confident is, with your gut.
I find the crazy that is that when I speak to someone about that exact thing, they can't actually give me a real answer as to why they don't deserve to feel that right now. They'll be like, well, because, this. And I'm like, yeah, but why? Like, oh, well, because, I'm not there yet. I'm like, yeah, but why can't you feel it now? Like, why, especially when it comes to confidence or, self-love or motivation to within themselves or proud. It's like, yeah, but why? And they can't, like, there is no reason that they can give me that will make me say, okay, that's okay. There is nothing. I'm like, okay, sweet. Guess what? You're human. Guess what? You've made mistakes that we've all made, or you've let yourself go like we've all done. But there is no excuse for you to feel anything other than what you deserve to feel right now. There is none. Regardless of where you're at in your journey, what weight you've gained, what, how you feel within your skin, how, regardless of anything, there is no excuse except for the ones you give yourselves. But then when you speak about those excuses, there's none. Because you know that you're human with those excuses. And when you're human, things happen and they draw strength within you. And this is your strength now. Like, that is your strength in this moment to move forward, knowing that that's no excuse for you to have doubt in yourself. Stop. Like, there is no excuse. We all are good enough regardless of anything we've ever done. If you're in jail, maybe I can't really authenticate with you because I can't really relate. But if we're on this call right now, I can. Yeah?
Yeah. I think you kind of touched on Bianca's question. So Bianca's question was, how do you manage self-sabotage? And that kind of, maybe that answer kind of gave a little bit into it, but could you speak into that? Like, can you speak into, maybe from your personal experience, why you found yourself sabotaging? And how obviously you can put it into anyway, you can help.
Depends, I guess, in which way we self-sabotage. Like, it depends in which way the relationship is with the sabotaging. So for me, I always would sabotage. Like, if I started getting result and this is probably how Bianca means it, that when I would start getting physical result with the effort that I was putting in, I would celebrate with what I knew would take me backwards. And I had no idea. Like, Bianca, please correct this or tell me, like, go into a little bit more detail, but I'll keep going anyway. For some reason, I would sabotage myself in the way that I knew I was on a good journey. I knew the results were coming. I was feeling freaking fab. And I'd be like, oh my God, let's go get ice cream. And it's like, I couldn't figure out why I did that. But it's actually really simple. When we're kids, like, how do we celebrate with our kids when they're being good? Or how do we celebrate with, family when we've had a win? We go out to dinner, or we go and eat ice cream, or we take the kids for lollies, like, and that is okay. Like, that is not a bad thing. But making them differentiate the fact that, or us, we need to, when it is becoming something that we know that it's wrong, that's when we need to differentiate the fact that finding that emotion that you're feeling when you're sabotaging and fixing it in a different way other than the sabotage. So if your sabotage is something you're putting in to change a result you're getting, right? Yeah. So if we can find something that's like that with that emotion that when we're sabotaging changes, that's how you change everything. So for me, I started to be like, I want to celebrate. And, there is balance. You need to have balance. So if going out to dinner is a celebration, go and do it. But have the healthier option on the menu. And if that means a little bit of sauce or a tiny bit of carb, tell yourself it's okay because you're human, but not sabotaging to a point where you tell yourself you can't have something, because that's when the sabotage happens. So I'll try and put that in an easier term. So if you want to celebrate and you don't necessarily, everyone's like, yeah, please do. If you want to celebrate, right, and we know that we go and eat ice cream when we celebrate, find a different hobby or a different something that is going to make us feel good. So instead now, when I need to celebrate, I find a different outcome that I know makes me feel good, and I'll go and paint my nails, or I'll meet up with a girlfriend and we'll go shopping, or, you know, something that I know that is still a celebration feeling, but it's away from food. But if I want to have a little bit, that's okay too. And sabotaging, if I'm feeling emotional and I'm going through a relationship problem, or, you know, I'm just stressed, I find that emotion. And yeah, exactly. So then if I'm feeling emotional or I'm feeling upset, I know that like a lot of us, we go straight to food, right? And that's a sabotage. But what could we do in that moment? And the first thing that I would recommend is reaching out to somebody that gets you, that you can talk to, and that will make you feel better. And that, like, I'm putting my hand up, message me, I'll help you. Lisa, she's amazing. Message someone that can relate to that emotion to stop you from sabotaging, because that's all it is making us fix an emotion or fix a feeling. Everyone nod if that kind of makes sense a little bit. Okay, cool. No worries. Oh, yay, I did it. No worries, Bianca.
Awesome. Just give us a thumbs up if this is helping, if there has been something that you've heard tonight that has like resonated with you, and, you know, you've got something, or you know, there's something that's been spoken about that you've been able to identify a behavior, or you understand the emotion behind the action, and that you're positive, really positive with this going forward. Like, just give me a thumbs up if this is helping. Awesome. Yeah, great. Awesome. Really, really, yeah, I think your message is so brilliantly simple, that it's brilliantly simple.
You can't, right?
No, I just don't know. I don't know why we beat around the bush so much. And I do understand, you know, that, yeah, very much in the fitness industry, obviously coming from that place, that we really do talk about 80% nutrition. 80% nutrition, 20% exercise, and that the mindset block has really been left out of it. So of course, you know, this weight loss psychology is absolutely amazing, and it would be remiss of me, obviously, to not speak about Healthy Mind and Body, because we know that Healthy Mind Body is an all-encompassing program that helps in many areas of our life. And if you haven't done it, it's recommended that you do it. And if you've done it before, it's recommended that you do it again. Like, every time that you do that program, your mindset will be different. And then really, you know, if it's really beating, I'll call it the health process. So if it's really beating the health process, then go into it fully focused on it being about the mindset of it being fully focused on the health mindset. Because we know that we can have lots of different mindsets, right? We can have the relationship, the stress, the health, the physical, the financial, all of these different mindsets. But whatever you want to get in that thing is just will fully be focused on that program in that one mindset. So, yeah.
Mindset leads everything. Like, result is always an outcome of things that we do, but mindset leads the actions we put in, and it always will. And, you know, like, I really want to open up that if anyone wants me to go deeper, even like for a brief conversation, like, it can even take 10 minutes. Like with me and Lisa, I think we spoke for 20 minutes just on, you know, like talking about the chat that I had. If you do want to go deeper at all with anything, like literally anything, then message me, because, you know, this is my mission in life, and I don't care of the outcome. My outcome is just to make you feel better. And that can be for 10 minutes, an hour, like whatever it is, but you're in extremely good hands with Lisa. And, you know, she's going to obviously take you guys to the top with anything she can, because this is what you guys need. So yeah, exciting.
She is better though, and I'm going to Bali for a week, so if you need someone, message her.
No.
Message her. And yeah, I really I think really too, also, if we're just really stuck being able to own and name the emotion, definitely I think Emma is your lady. I don't know what happens in life where people aren't very emotional beings much nowadays, or maybe that was just my upbringing, that I'm not much of an emotional being.
crazy. The
Yeah.
conversations are so simple, yet they change everything. I'm like, how? And it's changed everything for me, but it's like, what's happened that, we've just stopped being so self-aware and stopped living, and we're in such a depth of, I guess, deprivation that we don't even realize what we're doing. And it's like just having a quick conversation with someone can enlighten everything and give them permission to start living. And that's what I love.
Yeah. Beautiful. Absolutely. And, it really comes down to, I know that, even through our challenge, there's just numbers all abound us in a challenge. It's a 16-week challenge, 4 blocks of 30 days, so we're like the 8-week mark, and we had our numbers based around our challenge. But if we can couple, of course, those, let's say those physical stepping stones, but on the bigger outcome of the emotion that we're trying to gain out of ourselves through the process, then
yes.
I guarantee that your journey will be easier. Okay, so of course, we want those, I guess if it's like driving from Sydney to Melbourne, then we need to know landmarks along the way, right? So we know that if we're going from Melbourne, of course, we're going to pass Wallen, and we'll pass Seymour, and we'll get to Albury, and these little places. So those little things are the trackers on the map to the end of your emotion, which is the end point, which is Sydney. Does that make sense?
And at the same point, the end point is now. Like this is, the end point is obviously the physical result we're trying to achieve, which will always be there. We're never going to take that away because we all want to be better than what we are at the current point physically. But the end result is right now. Like, what are we even chasing? The mental. But if we can find that, and that's exactly right, like the end result is obviously, and really, like, you're going to be driving a long way trying to find that end result, because right now you are the end result, because right now you're in life, and in life is when we're chasing, and living means we are living. Like, there is no if, buts, maybes, non-simpler. Like, you are in your car, you're living, you're breathing, you're driving it. So you are the result you're wishing to achieve. However, if you keep going, you're just going to keep getting better and better and better. You found your system, you found the nutrition, you found your leader. Just keep going, keep driving, but do it with the right mindset behind the wheel. Yeah.
Awesome. Beautiful. All right. So has anybody got anything that they want to come through with? Otherwise, we're going to let this spunt go. Before we do that, though, we will give the code word, or because we always seem to forget that. And really, let's just say that really the code word tonight is why. That's it. Why? You can spell the word, or you can just put the letter in there. But for people that watch this recording, then you need to come through to your sponsor or your helper with the challenge and let them know why. And gosh, if you can name your why with the emotion attached behind it, you might even get an extra point or something. So yeah.
Love it.
All right. Anybody else got anything that they want to bring in? Otherwise, we can all jump off and say good night and come on and unmute and actually say thanks to Emma, and give her your love and appreciation and gratitude for hopefully the nuggets that she's really dropped into your mind now. So.
Thanks, Emma. It was great. It was really good to listen to that and about mindset. It's been a bit of a crazy fortnight for me, but that was really good. Thank you so much.
No worries. I hope it helped.
Absolutely.
Yay!
Yay!
Go, Stace. Did you want to say something, Stace? Have you come off mute? No, she's laughing. I can't hear her. I think she's laughing. She wants to say something, but sometimes the things don't come through. So, Narelle, what about you guys up there?
Thank you. Thanks.
Hey, team. Well, I'm glad you tuned in.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Fantastic. All right. Well, I'll let everybody go. Emma, again, from the depths of my very proud heart, I thank you very much for coming on. I thank you. I feel amazingly blessed by the universe for our alignment right now. And I know that what you have to teach me and then vice versa, some gifts that I get to give you are going to be brilliant for a lot of people going forward. So yeah, watch this space. It's going to be absolutely amazing. But also thanks and appreciation and gratitude for all those people that set time aside tonight on Monday night to jump on. And look out for the emotion wheel that I'll put up in that challenge page. I encourage you to study that emotion wheel and name it and own it, see it and live it, and suck that dry right now. And go and get it tattooed all over your body. Sorry, mate, what was that?
I said, if you struggle with the emotion you're trying to find, then message me and I'll find that emotion real quick for you.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, if you're struggling with the wheel, message Emma. Not me, because I'll be in Bali. I'll still answer you, but it'll probably be a little bit later. So, all right. Thank you, guys. Thanks so much. And again, have an amazingly brilliant week. Moving forward in that emotion with ease and love.
Yeah.
Being in it now. Thanks, Em.
Bye.
See ya.